You're about to discover the single decision that could destroy everything Donald Trump has worked to build in his first presidency. While you've been watching the usual political theater, a dangerous trap is being set from within inside his own circle, one that could drag America into another endless Middle East war, something that Trump has always campaigned against. But what we're going to soon discover is that the biggest threat to Trump's America First agenda isn't coming from the Democrats or the media. It's coming from the very people who claim to support him. The voters who put him in office are sending a crystal clear message, and if he ignores it, his entire legacy could crumble. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, let me tell you something that should keep you up at night. We're living in the middle of a historic shift. Globalism is collapsing before our very eyes. You see it. The conservative renaissance has begun. The old world order is crumbling right before our eyes. You'd think this would be cause for celebration, right? Well, hold that thought. Because while the world changes around us, a dangerous decision is brewing that could wreck everything Trump has built. And here's the thing. It's not coming from the Democrats or the media or even his enemies who hate him the most, like Hillary. No, the threat is much deeper, and it's coming from within Trump's own circle. Now, what do I mean? What if I told you that the biggest risk to Trump's presidency wasn't the left, but a single choice that could drag us into another endless Middle East war? And here's the thing that should terrify you. It's the very voters who got Trump elected who are warning him to stay out of this brewing mess. This isn't just another dust-up over Iran and Israel. This is about Trump's loyalty. Will he stand with the America First movement or sell out to the deep state warmongers? The answer could determine whether he gets 4 years of peace or if we get 4 years of watching American soldiers come home in body bags. None of us want to see that. Let's break this down. Because the foreign policy establishment, the Pentagon old guard, and the legacy media all together are pushing Trump toward military conflict with Iran. They say Iran is weak, it's surrounded and collapsing. They claim that the time is perfect to strike, that it would show force, bolster Israel, and eliminate a major threat. But the narrative is paper thin, and anyone with half a brain can see through it. Israel's strategy of escalation dominance is faltering, guys. Conflicts with Gaza and Lebanon are dragging on longer than anyone expected. Their enemies are still firing back and still standing. Israel is losing the dominance it once held, and now it's looking to the United States to fill that gap, not with advice, with missiles. Now, let's be crystal clear. This is not about defense. This is about regime change. This is the same tired formula we've seen over and over again. Take out a few generals, kill some scientists, hope the government collapses. But guys, we know it never works. It didn't work in Russia. It didn't work in Syria. It didn't work in Iraq. And it's not going to work in Iran. But here's what should really concern you about this whole charade. In fact, it's doing the opposite. Iran is rallying. Their people aren't overthrowing the government. They're unifying behind it. Their military is loyal, and their missiles are now punching through Israel's defenses. That invincible Iron Dome that we keep hearing about, it's taken hits. Meanwhile, there's chatter that Iran even tried to assassinate Trump. A direct provocation, and just like that, the war machine starts turning again. Sound familiar? Of course it does. This is the Iraq playbook. A fantasy sold to the American people by neoconservatives who never paid the price for their failures. Trillions of dollars, thousands of American soldiers paid the ultimate price. And what do we get in return? A shattered region, a power vacuum, the rise of ISIS, and a tidal wave of chaos and death. Now they want to do it again, but this time under a man who was elected specifically to stop it. The irony would be hilarious if it weren't so tragic. And this is where the politics get real. Trump's base isn't just hesitant about another war. They flat out reject it. We do not want war. According to Big Data poll, nearly 2/3 of Americans oppose deeper military engagements in the Middle East. Among Republicans, the resistance is just as strong. Evangelical support for Israel has taken a noticeable dive since 2020. And in critical battleground states like Iowa, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, the very voters who propelled Trump to victory are unified in their message. Absolutely no more wars. We spend too much treasure, lose too many lives, and the politicians don't let the professional soldiers call the shots. It's like we don't win wars anymore. It's almost like politicians cause war so that they can grift off of it from the munitions manufacturers for all the money that they get secured to produce munitions for the war. It's a vicious cycle that never ends. You let these people have power, war never ends. History doesn't screw around, guys. Truman got us into Korea. And guess what happened? Eisenhower got swept into office. George H.W. Bush got us into the Iraq War. And he lost his reelection bid, didn't he? Even Joe Biden, without putting a single boot on the ground, took a political hit just for backing the war in Ukraine. The pattern is clear. Voters don't like wars they didn't sign up for, and they punish the presidents who dragged them into it. Well, it also didn't help that Joe Biden had warm diarrhea brain, but still, who benefits if Trump blows up his own coalition? That's a great question. It's the same old names, the neocon senators like Lindsey Graham and the late John McCain, those types. The military-industrial complex, cable news war junkies. These people would rather see Trump fall than admit that peace serves America better than endless foreign intervention. They'd rather see the country burn than admit that they were wrong about Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, and every other disaster that they have championed over the years. But there is a silver lining, guys. Trump, unlike any other politician I have ever known of, listens to his voters. He's reversed course before when his base pushed back. That's what makes him different from every other politician in Washington. He doesn't owe anything to the Pentagon or their media mouthpieces. His loyalty is to the American people. We know that. And right now, they're saying one thing loud and clear. Stay out of it, Mr. President. The stakes couldn't be higher. If Trump chooses war, he risks economic collapse, a fractured base, and the destruction of his legacy. But if he walks away from this trap, if he refuses to play the neocon game, he cements himself as the America First president. He exposes the warmongers and wins loyalty not just from the right, but from every red-blooded American sick of being lied to. He becomes the president who finally said no to the war machine, and he meant it. The decision is his. And America First people are watching. Now, here's the bottom line. Trump has the chance to be remembered as the president who broke the cycle of endless wars, who chose American prosperity over foreign adventures, and who proved that real strength comes from saying no to bad ideas. That's not just good politics. It's good for America. All right. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Spread the word.